Most weapons make headlines because of what they destroy. This one is making headlines because of what it costs. 10 pounds per shot. Yes, not 10,000 pounds, not 1,000 pounds, 10 pounds. Literally. Now, I know that this number sounds almost too small to take seriously, but defense analysts at RAND might disagree with you. The UK Ministry of Defense also takes it very seriously, and the Chinese military, which has spent years building an entire war strategy around a very specific economic logic, definitely doesn't think it's small. A £316 million contract has already been signed, and deployment on Royal Navy destroyers is set for 2027. The weapon in question? Dragonfire. Dragonfire is a British high-energy laser-directed energy weapon developed specifically for the Royal Navy. Its development began in 2017 when it was first revealed to the public as a technology demonstrator at the Defense and Security Equipment International Conference in London. Since then, the program has been driven by a partnership called UK Dragonfire, made up of some of Britain's biggest defense contractors, MBDA UK, Leonardo UK, and Kinetic, all working closely with the UK Ministry of Defence's Defense Science and Technology Laboratory, known as DSTL. The project has received sustained investment over the years, with around £100 million put into building and proving the technology so far. The Dragonfire system works by taking the outputs from many individual glass fiber laser modules and combining them into one powerful, highly focused beam. This method, known as coherent beam combination, lets the system produce a concentrated laser output in the 50 kilowatt class, powerful enough to damage or destroy airborne threats in seconds. The beam is mounted in a precision turret assembly that also holds advanced electro-optical sensors and a secondary lower power laser dedicated to tracking and imaging. When a ship's radar detects a target, that sensor data feeds into the ship's combat management system, which then hands the engagement over to Dragonfire to track, aim, and fire the laser at the threat. Because the laser travels at the speed of light, there is no flight time to calculate or lead. In official trials at the UK Ministry of Defence's Hebrides Range in Scotland, Dragonfire demonstrated its ability to track and engage fast drones flying at speeds up to 650 kilometers an hour, which is roughly equivalent to 400 miles per hour. During these trials, it also achieved what the MOD described as a UK first in above-horizon tracking and interception, meaning the system could engage targets even before they were in conventional line of sight. The level of precision is exceptional. The MOD has stated the laser can place its beam on a target the size of a 1-pound coin at a kilometer's distance. That's a 23mm object at 1,000 meters. The engineering involved in pulling that off through variable atmospheric conditions is genuinely remarkable. Here's where the title of this video comes from. The Ministry of Defense stated that firing Dragonfire for 10 seconds costs the equivalent of running a regular home theater for 1 hour. In practical terms, each shot costs less than 10 pounds. To put that into context, a standard surface-to-air missile used in naval air defense can cost anywhere from hundreds of thousands to over $2 million per shot. A US Navy Standard Missile 2, for example, runs at over $2 million. That means the cost ratio between a missile interceptor and a Dragonfire shot is somewhere in the range of 20,000 to 1 in Dragonfire's favor. This is really important considering what modern warfare actually looks like now. What we've seen in Ukraine, in the Red Sea, and in various conflict zones is that cheap drones and cheap missiles are being used in enormous numbers to overwhelm expensive defense systems. The Houthi attacks on shipping in the Red Sea forced the US and UK navies to use million-dollar interceptors to shoot down drones that cost a few $100s each. That is an economically unsustainable situation. One research calculation found that using standard SM-2 missiles to intercept a swarm of low-cost drones could produce a cost ratio of 700 to 1 in favor of the attacker. A destroyer equipped with the Dragonfire can engage swarm after swarm without burning through its missile stockpile. As long as the ship has power, it has shots. The only real limit to how many times you can fire is energy supply and heat management. Before focusing on why this creates a strategic issue for China, we need to understand the core challenge every high-energy laser faces. High-energy lasers are not perfectly efficient. The fiber lasers that Dragonfire uses operates at roughly 30% efficiency. What that means in plain language is that for every 1 watt of laser power you produce, you have to get rid of about 2 watts of waste heat. It's inside the weapon system itself, and that heat has to go somewhere. At small scales, this is manageable. At 50 kilowatts of output, you're talking about dissipating roughly 100 kilowatts of waste heat continuously during operation. Scale that system up to higher power, and the thermal management problem grows with it. This is one of the key engineering reasons that laser weapons took so long to move from concept to reality. Dragonfire has a dedicated power conditioning and thermal management suite built specifically to handle this. For a ship, this is manageable because warships have large power generation systems and substantial space for cooling infrastructure. That's actually one of the reasons the Navy got Dragonfire first. Putting it on a smaller vehicle or an aircraft is a fundamentally harder problem. So why is this specifically a nightmare for China? China has invested heavily in drone warfare, and this is not a secret. The People's Liberation Army has been studying the lessons of Ukraine, of the Houthis' attacks, of Nagorno-Karabakh, and of every other recent conflict where cheap unmanned systems have reshaped the battlefield. The conclusion China's military planners have drawn is that drone swarms are a key offensive and defensive tool, particularly for any potential operation involving Taiwan. The logic of the drone swarm strategy is straightforward. If you send 100 cheap drones at a target, the defender has to intercept all of them, or at least most of them. If each interception costs the defender hundreds of thousands of dollars, and each drone only costs a few thousand, the attacker can bankrupt the defender's supply of interceptors before the real attack even begins. China has taken this seriously enough that in the summer of 2025 alone, the PLA tested what analysts described as some of the most advanced unmanned systems anywhere in the world, including a drone mothership with a 25-meter wingspan capable of releasing between 100 and 150 smaller loitering munitions from internal bays at altitude. However, using technology like the Dragonfire, if a defender can shoot down 100 drones for 1,000 pounds in energy costs rather than $100 million in missiles, the attacker's cost advantage evaporates. China's military researchers are aware of this. Published Chinese military literature has examined direct energy weapons as a central challenge in future drone warfare, and the PLA is actively working on its own laser and high-power microwave counter-drone systems. In November 2024, at the Zhuhai Air Show, Chinese defense manufacturers showcased multiple ground-based high-power microwave systems intended to counter drone swarms. These systems use focused pulses of electromagnetic energy to disrupt or destroy the electronics in small, unmanned aerial vehicles. And some are built on large 8x8 truck platforms, suggesting they're designed for mobile battlefield use. China's directed energy efforts also extend to high-energy lasers. The Chinese weapon, known as the LY-1, has been displayed publicly and appears intended for both ground and naval applications, including defense against drones, cruise missiles, and other aerial threats. According to public reports, a version of an electromagnetic laser system was tested on a Type 071 class amphibious transport ship in 2024, indicating that the PLA Navy is experimenting with putting high-energy lasers on at-sea platforms. The United States has also been deploying early laser systems on naval destroyers. Israel has been accelerating its Iron Beam laser program specifically because of the economic pressure of intercepting rockets and drones on a massive scale. India has tested its own laser-directed energy weapon called Mk2A and claimed successful interception of drone swarms. France, Germany, Turkey, South Korea, Japan, and others all have programs in development. For the UK specifically, Dragonfire carries extra strategic weight. The Royal Navy is set to have the first ship-fitted system on a Type 45 destroyer by 2027, 5 years ahead of the original schedule. That acceleration tells you something about how urgent the UK government considers the threat environment right now. The £316 million contract we talked about earlier with MBDA covers the production and installation of systems on multiple ships, supporting nearly 600 skilled jobs across Scotland and England. There are real limitations that are worth being honest about. Laser weapons are line of sight only. Rain, fog, sea spray, and atmospheric turbulence can all degrade beam quality and reduce effective range. Operating at sea on a rolling deck in rough weather is a very different environment from a calm test range in Scotland. And while the per shot cost is incredibly low, the upfront system cost is not trivial. There are also questions about how many targets a single system can engage simultaneously when facing a true saturation attack. These are the problems the engineers and operators are working on now, and the answers won't be fully clear until these systems are deployed in genuinely contested environments. The thermodynamics challenge, which we talked about earlier, is the key technical bottleneck that determines how far and how fast this technology can actually scale. Solving the dissipation problem at higher power levels is what separates a 50 kilowatt defensive system from something that could threaten larger, faster, more hardened targets at greater distances. The country that cracks it first is going to have a significant military advantage, not just in cost per shot, but in the entire architecture of how you defend and attack at sea and in the air. What Dragonfire represents right now is the first credible answer to the drone swarm problem that doesn't require spending a fortune for every engagement. For China, whose military strategy in the Pacific relies heavily on the economic logic of cheap mass attacks, overwhelming expensive defenses, that is genuinely disruptive. Before you leave, make sure to hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you want more fact-based breakdowns of how militaries are really changing. And if there's a system, country, or capability you want covered next, put it in the comments.